All right. What's up, guys? Welcome in. I believe we're live. I haven't done this solo in a minute. But welcome in. Chris Marler here from Saturday Down South and the Saturday Football Uncensored podcast. Great day of football, unless you are a fan of almost every team, like almost every single team. Not great. Not great by a long shot. Yeah. So first off, where are you from? What you drinking? Haven't done this in like 2 years. Around probably last year. I don't know. Tennessee game just ended. As you can tell, I'm wearing a Bama shirt reluctantly. That was tough. Georgia struggled in the first half. Is anybody good? Is the SEC good? We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to talk about all of it now. Also, we're Florida fans because you should roast me, just absolutely roast me. I said Tennessee was the lock of the week. Lock of the week. Tennessee, besides sobriety, I said it on Twitter. Besides sobriety, nothing has lost to Florida more than the Tennessee Vols have over the last 52 years. They still only had 2 wins. Wait, what? Shiloh Sanders pick 6? Oh, we got that one right. Hold on 1 second. We are. Somebody's asking me to send them a link. I don't know how, guys. I don't know how. Anyway, welcome in, though. Chris Marler, like I said, Saturday Down South and the Saturday Football Uncensored podcast. I just want to know biggest takeaways from all of you. What's up, Tyler Davis? What's your biggest takeaways from the day? Biggest takeaways from your team's game? Is it time to panic? Like, what team should be panicking besides Alabama? Because they do not have a quarterback maybe on that roster. Cheerwine Weedale. Okay, what's up, David Carter? All right, let's get started in Gainesville because that feels like the reason why we're doing this in the first place. Tennessee, Florida. Hold on. Just join in Florida. Okay. So Tennessee, Florida. That's kind of the reason we're doing this in the first place. I thought Tennessee. There's not been a better team in the SEC that's come out and jumped on the board first at all in the last 2+ years than Josh Heupel and Tennessee Vols. That is a statistical fact. I believe they have scored first in 24 of their 29 games under Josh Heupel. They get the ball second. They hold Florida to a missed field goal, and they get the ball and go down and score, put up 7, first one on the board. And that was about all they did in the first quarter and the first half of that game. And it got ugly quick. I mean, quick. It was 26-7 at the half. Florida absolutely dismantled them. Joe Milton, who, fun fact, I didn't realize this until after the game, he has not. Joe Milton has not thrown a touchdown pass at Tennessee or at Michigan on the run. So if you're looking for a blueprint and you're an SEC defensive coordinator, blitz and blitz often and blitz all night. That's exactly what Florida did. They got after his ass all night. They came back a little bit in the second half. I think Billy Napier kind of went maybe a little bit too conservative. Graham Mertz, though, I don't want to say he looked good because I feel like he did, but I don't want to be stupid. I don't have the numbers in front of me. Let's see here. We got some comments coming in from the text line. Thank you so much, Auburn fan. Roddy Reptiles played an awesome first half, but the environment looked amazing. The environment looked fucking awesome. I mean, it looked incredible. It looked like it was the old swamp. Tip your cap to Billy Napier. It's a coach that has been on the hot seat. I feel like maybe unfairly for quite some time. I thought he should be on the hot seat, and like not even because of like how he's performed as a head coach, but because it's so difficult, like what's ahead of him and what Dan Mullen left him. I mean, the cupboard wasn't bare, but like what? It was like some fucking half jar of peanut butter there. It's about it. And Ricky Pearsall, who just continues to drop the ball every third down he can get his hands on. I was really impressed. They went back to kind of basics from last year. ETN was fantastic. They ran the ball really, really well. And the defense is a lot better. I thought it was – you finally saw what Joe Milton – I think every logical person thought Joe Milton was. And that is, man, he's got a hell of an arm. He can throw 104, but he's not going to touch the black ever, just ever. He can throw it a mile, but not with a ton of consistent accuracy. So credit to Tennessee in the second half, coming back a little bit. But, man, you want to talk about just too little too late. It got away from him quick. It got away from him very quick. Thank you, Jay. You're a great idea. It's very nice of you. So, like I said, Tennessee just um, after that first 7 points in the first half, man, they didn't do shit on offense either. It was just really bad. Where else should we go here? I want to avoid going to South Florida yet. Let's go to Athens and talk about what happened at the South Carolina Georgia game. I'll tell you what, my biggest takeaways were this. Georgia, what makes elite teams, what makes great teams is coaching adjustments, and the ability to actually pronounce adjustments instead of the way I just did. Lock of the week, go Gators. Stephen Burgeon says lock of the week, go Gators. Yeah, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was definitely wrong. And I'll tell you what, Stephen, I've never been happier to be more wrong. Made my night. It made my night. And I'm glad y'all got to celebrate. Also, tip of the cap to Josh Heupel for being an absolute asshole and calling a timeout for no reason. For no reason. Just the dumbest shit. Reed Sean said something about it. Also, just again, keep in mind, this is college football or Saturday football uncensored. So, yeah, we have a couple of drinks and we say bad words. We're all adults here. Yeah, I don't know what Heupel was doing. That was weird. Yeah, you know what, Travis Stewart. Let's like put it on the back burner here before we go to Athens, and let's talk about the incredible ending in Como. What the hell? So Mizzou's playing Kansas State. Mizzou did every. Somebody said Josh Heupel pooped his pants. I don't know if that's factual. Anyway, so Mizzou, in just the only way Mizzou could, figured out a way to be like just less stable than IKEA furniture for the entire fourth quarter, do everything they can in their power to blow a lead, get it back, hold them to like a tie game and a late field goal. If you didn't watch the game, Mizzou is tied 27-27 with one timeout left. They start getting a little bit of a drive going, and on 3rd and 2, they hit a 15-yard pass, and they're in field goal range for Harrison Mevis. Harrison Mevis, if you know who he is, he's like a fifth-year kicker who is about as wide as he is tall. He looks like a bucket with arms, but he has a phenomenal leg. He also has been very inconsistent. Same guy that missed a 26-yard game winner against Auburn a year ago, and is like 3-8 on the season, I think. So they get in field goal range. They're going to be able to attempt a long field goal, but it's in his range, 56 yards. He had a 56-yarder last year against Georgia at home. And then for some reason, they just didn't snap the ball. They just didn't snap the ball, and they took a delay game penalty. Like just horrible clock management. Just horrible clock management. And then they lined up with 3 seconds left and for whatever reason decided to kick a 61-yard field goal, and he fucking nailed it. I mean, just nailed it. That 61-yard field goal was almost longer than the total amount of passing yards that Alabama quarterbacks had all day. So there's a fun fact. Drake makes some decisions. We got a Tennessee fan a little bit late here. Susan says, huge UT fan. That game was just ugly. Yeah. Tons of stupid penalties. Completely agree. Refs didn't help either. There were several times in the 4th down stuff that they did not help Tennessee. I will say that. I don't disagree with that at all, Susan. Especially on that 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 where they get to the line, they kind of got Florida on skates a little bit on their heels, and then for whatever reason, they just didn't. They let them substitute. I thought that was really weird. Okay. Anyway, Mizzou, huge win. Probably should be ranked this week. They'd be the top 15 team. That's a game that, you know, Vegas is the line at 4, but that is a tough. Texas is doing what? Damn it. I don't need this today. That's a line that is only 4, like I said, from Vegas. But how about Brady Cook and some of those receivers? I don't want to say young receivers, but receivers that are very unproven that really kind of grew up before our own eyes today, which was awesome to watch. Awesome to watch. I got to get some Botox. What is happening here? BYU about to beat Arkansas? Of course they are. That's not going to help the narrative with the SEC. But a hell of a win for Drink and Mizzou. Super impressed with that receiving core, like I said. Luther Burden is an absolute problem. An absolute problem. He is so fun to watch. And you also got to give credit to Brady Cook again. What's everybody drinking? Coors Light for me. But you have to give him credit. And the rest of those receivers as well, because Mookie Cooper did really well. They had a couple guys that are getting their first start, seeing their first actual live, like legit, meaningful action, and they played really, really well. And they caught a lot of contested balls, and that's what I was mostly impressed by. A lot of contested balls. All right, Let's go to Athens since we're talking about drinking. Horrible first half. Horrible first half. I mean, it was bad. I don't really know how else to put it. I will say, just right off the top, my two biggest takeaways. Now, keep in mind, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, and you guys know that I'm a very transparent person. I'm a Bama fan. I was watching both games as much as I could, but I was in the middle of what can only be described as an absolute fucking internal meltdown watching Tyler Buckner play quarterback for Alabama. So I didn't get to see all of the first half for Georgia or see the stats. I did see the fact that Spencer Rattler, and one of my biggest takeaways, made himself some money. 16 of 18 in the first half. That is, if you remember this too, Will Levis, I know he dropped the second round, but he made a lot of money for himself in how he played specifically against that Georgia defense, because the Georgia defense is about the closest thing to an NFL defense you're going to see from a payroll standpoint and from a talent standpoint. Just kidding, Dog fans. But he was phenomenal. 16 of 18 in the first half. I think he had about 180 total yards, including rushing. He was their leading rusher. Was really impressed with him. And I love the fact that Carolina came out swinging. I mean, like, that's a place where I know you went there in 2019, but like they have boat raced you the last couple of years. And Kirby hates Beamer for whatever reason. I don't know how. I don't know why. Maybe because he looks like he's 12. And maybe he had a bad experience at a 12-year-old birthday party at Laser Tag. I don't fucking know. But he does not like Shane Beamer. That being said, incredible job from an offensive line and a quarterback that I think a lot of us have kind of quit on and not believed in for a lot of their career. And also in the way that the offensive line played in that week 1 game against UNC. And the defense was really, really good, especially early on in that game. Bobo making Bobo decisions. I don't know what he was doing in the red zone. It's like he has too many toys to choose from and doesn't know what to do. But also there's still a lot of injuries in that Georgia offense, and I think they had a few more in this game as well. I'm pretty sure Marius Mims went out at some point. But like I said earlier, before we tease it, incredible job from like what elite teams and elite coaches do is make adjustments and make halftime adjustments. This is incredible. They make elite teams and elite coaches make halftime adjustments, and that's exactly what Georgia and Kirby Smart did. You're down 14-3. About everything that could go wrong went wrong. You missed like a chip shot field goal. I think they missed 2 total. And what do you do on the first drive? You come out, you put your foot like on the gas, and you go right down the field and score. I don't know if it was a 3 and out, but they got the ball back and they went right back down the field and did it again. And it was really impressive. So, like you're talking about in the third quarter, one of my friends texted me during the game and was like, "I hate this, man. I hate losing." And I was like, "You're fucking winning. You're winning by 3. It's just not as many points as you're used to." And here's the thing too with Georgia. We talk about how great they are, and they still should be the number 1 team in the country because until someone knocks them off, like that's what they've earned. But there's some growing pains there. It's not easy replacing the best quarterback you've had and best offensive coordinator you've had in program history. And that's all there is to it. So also still a really good job. Dang it, I'll miss this point on tech. Also a really good job from the defense as well. I know, like I said, like there weren't like a ton of chunk plays, I feel like, in that game. Maybe I'm totally wrong. David Carter, you can correct me. This French's mustard makes this program out so good. But I, still a good job. And also a lot of positives to be taken away from South Carolina. And I think that now, especially after what you just saw in Gainesville, you go into that game in a couple of weeks, knowing what you did last year and knowing that you put up 63 points and Spencer Rattler was, who might be the best quarterback in the SEC. Statistically, it's hard to argue that. And I understand what the record is and all that kind of stuff, but he might be the best quarterback in the SEC. It's a little bit more confidence going into the next I guess in 2 weeks when they go to Knoxville in a game that's a revenge game for Tennessee. But I don't think it's as daunting as you thought it was before. Speaking of daunting, raise your hand if you played quarterback for Alabama today. Is our Lord. We can sing and say hallelujah. Let's talk about it. So Bama's not good. So here's the thing. I've doubled down, I've tripled down, I've done all the things. It might be time to just admit that Alabama is not a good football team. I don't know how I feel saying it, especially with one person that's watching this. who has been telling me for quite some time that that's what's happening, and I didn't want to listen to her. But it might be time just to admit the fact that like they're not a good football team. I'll tell you what. Let's start from like the Tyler Buckner. I, I'm not going to tell you what I said about Tyler Buckner, but if he gets drafted, I hope to see Ukraine. I'll say it. I'll say it. Okay, I'll say it. My gosh, he was terrible. It looked like he had the yips. At one point, he hit an offensive lineman in the back. Do you have any idea how difficult that is to do? He hit him in the back, not the helmet, the back. And I tell you what, guys, that's about the only fucking person he hit between the numbers all damn day. 5 of 14 for 34 yards. Not great. And what was weird about this whole thing was how it all played out because Buckner was getting the start and Bama was down a lot. Bama was down, not a lot. They were just down for most of the first half. And then they go to halftime in a 3-3 tie. The only reason they were even tied is because they got a gift turnover inside the 25-yard line. And then that's when they chose to take out Buckner, which they should have already taken out. And they brought in Ty Simpson for his first game action and have like a 20-yard, gain on the first play from like running the football. And then immediately just get, I don't know what, and like way too creative and start throwing the ball from the 7. Offensive line can't push anyone around. We heard all offseason about the joyless murder ball. It's just joyless. That's all it is. This the entire experience of Alabama football this season so far has been joyless. It is. They're awful. They're awful. I haven't seen anything that big be that bad at pushing things around. And I don't know how long. It is. I can't think of anything funny to say because it's not that funny. They're fucking terrible. Can't get the run game going. Ty Simpson comes in. It wasn't like he was a revelation. He goes 5 of 9, I want to say, and I think had a touchdown pass here. Let's bring it up, and I'll cry all over again. He goes 5 of 9, but here's the thing: he had one big completion to C.J. Dupree, which was a good completion. The thing that's scary, God, Vegas is so good. Georgia Tech just scored to make it. Listen, here's why you should never bet, guys. Georgia Tech just scored on I don't know what, with like a minute and a half to go to make it 41-23. They're down 18 points. The line was 18.5, but I digress. Okay, so Ty Simpson comes in. He was 5 of 9 for 73 yards. The 5 completions. He also had 5 sacks. He was sacked the same amount of times as he completed a pass today. And this is against South Florida, who was a 1-11 football team a year ago and had the 113th ranked quarterback. 113th ranked defense coming into the game today. Bama managed to get a total of 310 yards, only 107 yards passing, which was the lowest total they've had in over 6 seasons. Last time they had anything that low was against it was the 2016 season, but it was the 2017 playoffs against Washington. It was the lowest total in 87 games. And it was bad. I mean, it was awful. Everything, it was disjointed. There's nothing you can blame this on. The defense played pretty well. You have to give them credit there. They had a few busts, stuff like that. But everything this team does seems to be counterproductive to being productive, if that makes sense. They shoot themselves in the foot constantly. They're not disciplined. It doesn't seem like there's a ton of fight on the sidelines. There's nobody getting fired up or correcting stuff. You just beat a team that was 1-11, 17-3. And that's when that's because you scored a touchdown in the last minute and a half of that game. I mean, the line that's going to come out for the Ole Miss game is going to be fascinating because you can't put it at a touchdown. And I think that if you put it at 4, people are going to bet it back up. But I mean, Ole Miss is going to beat Alabama next week. You have to be licking your chops if you're Lane Kiffin. I mean, and here's the main thing. Here's the main thing. If you're Alabama, the whole purpose of this was to get the quarterback situation figured out. You've played 3 games. You're 2-1. The last 2 games have left you with more questions further into the season than answers. You went into this game trying to get answers at quarterback, and you left the game with more questions than answers. Jalen Milroe didn't see the field? Well, I mean, for what? Like, Like, because here's the thing now is if he was your best option to win today, he absolutely was. I mean, he was your best option to win today, and he didn't touch the field. He's the best athlete on either roster every time he steps on the field, and he didn't touch the field today. So if you put him in as the starter against Ole Miss and you were trying to light a fire under his ass or whatever, is the lesson learned? Like I don't get it. I just don't get it. All right, quick few other games, and then we will log off here. It's been fun. We'll have to do this again next week. I think technically it's my job, so I'm supposed to do it next week. But I hope everyone had a fantastic week. I know it's been storming a lot all over the Southeast. I hope everyone's been safe and all that good stuff. McCain Crabtree says, I hope Bama left their offensive line coach to the airport. I agree with that. UCF, isn't that the official college? It's the official college of Publix. Yeah, I think it is. Also, maybe Bama just doesn't schedule any more games in Tampa. I don't know. Not a great history there. Either Beck or Bobo just refused to throw the ball downfield in the first half. Yeah, I can see that for sure. All right, guys, we are going to call it a night. You guys have been fantastic. I'm sweating profusely for some reason, so that's nice. Here is what I'll tell you. Make sure you keep up with all the stuff on Saturday Down South, and all that good stuff. Or don't. Just keep up with the social media. There's going to be a ton. Okay, hold on. I gotta address this. Chance Pope says, put Milroe in and run the Auburn Nick Marshall offense. Run the hell out of it and throw the occasional deep shot. Bama fans don't want to hear that because Nick Marshall haunts their dreams. Like, I don't know, SAT and reading scores though. But I mean, that's the offense. That has to be the offense. Like that would be the best option. Anyway, what I was saying. Few things around up here. I hope everyone had a fantastic Saturday, like I said, and the best of luck to all your teams. Now, if you had a bad day or a bad night, you want to vent, you just want to talk about it. We got a couple Tennessee fans that are angry at the world, like most Tennessee fans are. Call the game day hotline. Okay, this is actually a real thing. We're gonna be live tomorrow night, like we are every single Sunday at 8 p.m., talking about the week that was in college football. It is our Sunday night live show of the Saturday Football Uncensored podcast. But we have a game day hotline, which is a lot of fun. We get people that drink too much, get a little bit too emotional, kind of like me on a Tuesday, and then call in and say a lot of things they may or may not remember the next day. And then we play them on the actual live episodes. It's a lot of fun. So the number is 770-674-8233. 770-674-8233. We'd love to hear from all of you, and the best ones will make it on the live show. Make sure you're checking out the Saturday Down South podcast as well, hosted by our good buddy Connor O'Gara, and our podcast, Saturday Football Uncensored, like I said, tomorrow night. And we have episodes that come out every Monday and Wednesday night as well. All right. For Chris Marlar, that's me. That's not how that goes. Love all of you. Have a great night. Be safe. War Eagle.